Welcome to Rewind, the podcast. What do you know about the club?
In the club, we all fam.
What?
In the club, we all fam.
What? Have you noticed celebrities when they do it, they take out the, are you racist?
Yeah.
I'm like, just do the joke.
I also feel like that's a lot.
Well, I think it's funny.
I think it's like for the joke, though, are
Yeah.
you racist doesn't fit.
Oh, I think it does. I think it's funny.
I thought Sabrina Carpenter's was cute.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about today,
We have
girl.
so much to talk about.
Y'all said y'all want more topics. Well, guess what? Here you are. Pop, 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 pop.
I
It's
know,
like
rapid
that,
fire.
Like that Grinch. Jury duty, blackmail, jury duty.
funny.
Young Philly. Well, I can't do it that fast.
Young Philly, Teyana Taylor, Kayla Nicole.
Cease and desist. Jaguar Wright. Beyonce.
Okay, let's get started with the Met Gala.
The Met Gala. It's coming next May. You going?
Probably.
I would love to go.
I would actually really love to go.
Anna. I almost called her Anna Faris. This is why we don't get invited
Anna
to shit.
Wintour.
Anna
Hello.
Wintour.
We would love to be invited to the Met Gala. So this year is special.
Yes, it is.
Because it is all of the, so every year they have like people who like host, but they call them something. I can't remember the name.
It's like the committee.
I think the host or the committee.
The committee.
And this year it's all black men.
Co-chairs.
Co-chairs. Thank you.
Co-chairs.
Yeah, and this year's all black men. Gabe, tell us who they are again.
They are Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, A$AP Rocky, Pharrell Williams, and then LeBron James.
Yeah.
Before you say that, everybody, do you notice he's nice and clear and there? Say hello to Gabe. He has a mic now.
And a camera.
And a camera.
The Gabe
We'll cut to
cam.
him. Okay, back to us. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
So it is hosted by black men, and the theme is Superfly.
The theme is
Super fine black men in America.
no. The theme is once you go black, you're going to the Met Gala, baby.
Gabe, what's the title?
It is super fine, tailoring black style.
Oh, you
Tailoring
really, there
black
really is super in there.
I know. I
I was
was
like,
close.
I know Anna Wintour was not
Super
like
fine.
Superfly.
Super fine tailoring black style. Let's say, this one I'm going to start. Whites, we love y'all. Don't show up with your skin tone 8 shades darker than it normally is.
Nancy Pelosi, this is not the time to kneel. Adele, this is not the time to wear that Jamaican bra on
And
the
your
Bantu
Bantu
knot.
nuts. This ain't
This
it.
ain't the time.
I low-key am so nervous.
I'm excited.
I'm excited, but I'm like nervous for people.
Because you know black style is going to turn out and it's going to be black excellence.
Yeah.
Black girl magic, black men, all these things. White people,
Gorgeous.
do you think they're just going to show up in black? I'm waiting for like the woke, like TikToker or like maybe a newbie to just, well, let's be real, as much as I joke about it, just going down the carpet like this.
No freedom to wrinkle.
Yeah, I support it.
Get your PR people together. Get your folks together.
If your team is all white, this is your time to hire someone as POC.
And not even POC, a black person.
OT.
Because this is about black style. So, like, get you a black so that you don't embarrass yourself and your family on the internet.
Because let me tell you what I am excited for. I love to follow along on Twitter, and Black Twitter is going to be fire. I'm
really
going to be
is.
so ready.
It really is. Who do you think's going to be like the standouts?
Okay, so I remember from last year, Gabrielle Union
Yep.
and her husband. Are they still together?
Yes,
'Cause
Dwayne
remember
Wade.
when we talked about it, the streets were saying there was trouble in paradise.
I wonder if they're going to bring their daughter.
Maybe. Is she old enough now?
She's 17.
She's 17.
Okay, so she might be old enough.
We'll see.
I feel like she would pop off.
She would.
LeBron James.
I think he'll have some good style.
I think he will look good. He always looks good.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think he'll turn out.
I'm excited to see Janelle Monáe. She normally goes, I think.
I'll be honest. I know it's being hosted by black men.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest. The black women are going to turn it out because I still watch for the dresses.
It will
A lot of
be.
the times men just show up in a differentiation of a tuxedo.
Unless you're Coleman Domingo.
T.
Because he always
Shows out.
And
he's a co-chair now.
So does the baby. He in everything. He was in You Need to Slow Down. Calm down. For some reason all I can see is him in that Taylor Swift
Todrick
video.
Hall? You said he's in that video.
No. Child, he's older. He's a dancer. He's a singer. Yes, from Pose.
Oh, Billy Porter?
Billy Porter! No, he always looks fabulous.
No, he always looks flawless, fabulous, fierce. He was at Pride this year.
Was he?
We performed on the same festival.
Oh my God.
Not on the same stage.
Yeah, I feel like Billy Porter, if he's invited, will look beautiful as well.
Yeah, he will. I love that one year. It's still a meme where he had the little curtains.
Yes,
So.
like he always shows up and shows out.
Okay, so you're invited tomorrow. What are you wearing?
Oh,
Superfly.
I was like, where am I
What's
going?
it called? Super free. Superfly.
Super
See,
fine.
I'm the person who needs to hire a black person now.
Super fine. What would I wear? I don't know. I would probably do like I don't know, would I want to go like Black Panther Power to the People Afro moment and really piss off some conservatives? Because that's what I would do.
Would be fierce.
I'd pull a Beyonce
I love that.
lemonade moment. Because I would love to do
Okay,
like,
yeah.
literally, I would love to do like a big something.
Yeah. Okay, I like
I think
that.
that's what I would do. What would you do?
So I think I would go more black and queer.
Okay.
So, like, do you remember a couple of years ago, and now this wasn't for this, Adam Rippon, he was invited to something, and he almost wore, like, a tuxedo that was fashioned into a harness?
Yes.
I think I would do something like that, but it would be in the vein, in the Chanel of black queer.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would do that.
Oh.
I'd come dressed as Marsha P. Johnson. I'm just kidding. Sorry, that was probably, I may cut that. But she threw the first brick. People died at Stonewall. Nobody was killed at Stonewall. Nobody was killed. Okay. Well, good for them.
I know, I
I'm
love
excited.
that.
I think it's going to be okay, so, Black Excellence taking over. Super Bowl. Kendrick Lamar. Met Gala. Kamala might be in the White House.
Kamala will be in the White House.
Okay,
We're
I love
speaking
that.
it to existence because we can't have orange people in the White House. No shade to the Oompa Loomps.
Speaking of orange, we got something to tell y'all later. But for now, you have something you want to tell me.
Oh, girl. So when our homies, I don't know if they are homies, from Shits and Gigs had they situation, everybody was like, Chunkz and Philly would never.
Chunkz and Philly?
So it's a group of guys. These are all people across the pond.
Okay.
And they're all in this little gang of like friends.
Mm-hmm.
Nella Rose is in it. And they make all this content together. And Chunkz and Philly just started a new podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They are huge, wildly successful in the UK.
Okay.
And so when Shits and Gigs popped off, like that's what introduced me to them, honestly, because
Chunkz and Philly?
Yes, because I was not like a huge fan. Like I recognized them, but I wasn't like a huge fan.
Yeah.
Well, then it got me into their content and I was like, oh, they're so fun and pro-black. And it's like all of these young black men doing well and making this content and like owning it themselves. When all that Shits and Gigs stuff went down, everybody was like, Chunkz and Philly would never. This is why you don't say what men would never do. Because they're going to embarrass you every time.
Ooh, what'd they do?
Chunkz didn't do anything. Sweet Chunkz.
Chunkz.
Philly.
I'm sorry, that sounds like the name for like an obese malt, like dachshund.
No.
This is Chunkz. He was supposed to die 5 years ago, but my mom's got him on pills. Like that's what it's giving.
No,
and Chunkz, I've never
he's
seen you
cute.
face. Is he chunky?
He used to be. I think he's like.
Oh, work. Okay,
Yeah, he's
we're
cute.
in the same boat.
He's cute.
Yeah.
Philly though was like the fine. Not well. I won't say that. He was fine, conventionally attractive. Child, not him getting called back. What's it called? Extradited.
Extradited?
When the police come get you from your country, or they tell you got to come back.
Excommunicated?
No, that's from the church.
That's not like a shipment.
No, that's expedited.
Oh.
Extradited.
Extradited.
You had it.
Girl,
Believe in yourself.
I know. He got extradited back to Australia, girl.
Why?
For raping somebody. They said, bring your behind. Come on back.
As such.
And get through this trial, low key.
Okay, so, and this is not me standing up for him.
And I would say allegedly.
Allegedly.
He's been accused.
I was going to say, are these allegations?
These are allegedly.
Allegedly.
So allegedly, he had a show. I think he's a DJ. So he played a show, invited a young woman back to his room. We don't know what happened. This young woman is saying she was sexually assaulted. And they extradited him, bitch.
That is, okay, I'm going to talk to both sides here because, Garth Brooks is going through the same thing. And that is a whole nother wild, But believe when people come out and say that kind of stuff, it's kind of like, what is it, innocent until proven guilty? Or I guess guilty on that end until proven innocent.
And see, that's what makes it hard.
Because, you know, people suddenly assume like, oh, they're famous, they want something from them. But this is also a person who, until you just brought it up, I don't know who that is. So is it like, I don't know. Like, you know, like I'm going to believe this person until we're done. But that is crazy.
I think, and this is my thing with young people, especially men who are in this, like, who have something to lose when it comes to that. This is where Kev on Stage and Angel, they talked about this on their podcast. This is where enthusiastic consent becomes like, no, but for real. Because at that point, like, whether she's telling the truth or not, whatever, now you've put yourself in a predicament with a woman that you probably barely know. And it's like, a little butt can't be worth it.
Little booty.
A little booty can't be worth it.
So this is like, whoosh, head turn this way. But this show right here, the one I love, Heartstopper, they recently this season, like I said, they had consensual sex in this season. And a lot of people on Twitter were complaining. They were like, he was like, can I kiss you? Can I touch you? And all that kind of people were like, oh my God, just have sex. And people were like, no. This is why it's important. Because things like that have happened. I was with a guy, not sexually, but I was at a bar and this guy came up to me and we were chatting. He seemed totally fine. He was like, can I kiss you? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I haven't been done that in a while. And he pulled away from the kiss and he goes, God, I am so drunk. And I said, we're done. And he was like, no. And I said, no, we're done.
Game over.
We're done.
When you start the I'm so drunk, game over.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you can't consent. But also, listen, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. And I get the
interested to see where you go with this.
appeal of casual sex.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
But at some point, you have to protect yourself and make sure you know these people.
Yeah.
It's so easy to accuse someone of something when, like I said, two things can be true. He could have very well thought that she was consenting or read the wrong signals, especially if alcohol is involved. And she could have very well been uncomfortable and nervous and didn't know how to say, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
That's why body language, enthusiastic consent is a thing, and making sure you understand the person. Because if I know you, I know when you're uncomfortable. I know when you're not really feeling it. I know when you maybe are saying one thing, but your body language is saying something else. But that comes with getting to know people. And if you just somebody you met at the bar, it's hard to have that rapport with them after 13 Tito sodas.
Well, and then it goes to show too, like, you know, obviously, like, Gabe, maybe you can attest to this, like Grindr, hookup apps, things like that. Somebody comes over, and so sometimes in their head, they're like, oh, the consent is there because you're on your way over. But it's like, they maybe want to hook up with you, but then it goes into, we're not doing this, like, and that is why sex is communication. It is communication, okay? Clock it.
Also, not clock it. But also, though, having like the checkpoints throughout. Because someone in the middle of an act can be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
That tea.
And like, just because y'all are in some type of situation doesn't mean that that's necessarily consent. You have to consent to every part of the act. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if it becomes more difficult when it's two men, but I know like as a woman, like, it's cute if you like, am I allowed to? Because I was go upside your noggin. And now we in here fighting.
Somebody tries to go around the back, you say, ha!
And like, so I just think that like, you put yourself in that situation as the person of power when you do not know the people that you're being intimate with. Yeah. And I just don't know how many times it has to happen for these men in particular to be like, maybe I should get to know the people I'm sleeping with. And like I said, no shade, no judgment. I've never understood women who hook up casually like that.
Oh my gosh. Look,
with men they don't know.
This is why we got to start the Patreon, because this could be a 30-minute conversation. Raven will get on a soapbox.
I'm sorry. I've never gotten there mentally to where it can be like, I met you at the bar 15 minutes ago and now I'm in a situation with you where I'm unfamiliar with the place and don't nobody know I'm here and all that. No.
Well, you know people who've been robbed like that.
I've had girlfriends do that and I'm like, Okay, so what happens when you, like, let's put ourselves in the situation of you say no and he say you don't have a choice.
That part.
Now what you gonna do?
Because now you're in an unfamiliar. Well, even okay, this is my thing too. Like to go scary movies. So like when I ever have like a caller, they're always
Gentleman caller.
Yes, they're always coming to my place because I always make the joke. I can do it if they like try to punch me out or pepper spray. I can do J-Lo enough and go 1, 2, knife, dish.
Yeah.
Like I can do that. But at their house, people are crazy. You don't know if they're like, oh, just go into the bedroom, and then suddenly the trap door opens and you are another sex slave.
Or you get there and other people are there.
And they're waiting for you to.
And you know, like there's just so many things
Well,
that
in gay
can
world,
go.
sometimes you're hoping other people
Yeah.
are there. You know what I mean?
But there's
Gabe.
No comment.
But there's so many things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
So everyone just like be mindful, protect yourself.
Yeah.
You know, take the time to get enthusiastic consent and don't be like Young Philly because I mean he's looking at jail time, I think. So
Yeah. And to the person who is speaking up, power to you, sis. And we'll see where it goes.
moving on along.
Yeah, moving on. Okay, so speaking of
Girl.
I'll wait.
I love some mess.
Okay, tell me about it.
You know I'm happy with my some mess.
You were coming with the topics today.
Listen, I told y'all it's been a big week for me on my timeline.
Raven was on the internet.
I was on the internet, child. Okay, so Kayla Nicole was on Unapologetically Angel with Angel Reese, who we love.
Which, okay, real quick, fill me in on this. We're going to do it quick. Is she still playing basketball?
Well, she did have a season-ending injury.
I was going to say it was like her Achilles.
Or
hernia?
ACL or something.
Something like that.
Something
It was
like
one of the
that,
tiny
yeah.
ones that when it rips, it rips.
Yeah.
So did she just start the podcast?
No, I'm not sure. I think she's already had it, but I'm sure it's probably ramped up since she's not.
Okay, well, I'm excited to hear what is going to... I'm just like... Can you imagine dribble all day, every day, and then you have to sit here and be like, so where'd you grow up? Like,
A lot of them do it, though.
That is crazy.
Like, I think pretty sure LeBron James had a podcast for a minute. Like, a lot of them have podcasts. Good for them.
Podcast. See, there's more out there than Talk to her. Angel, come on the pod and we'll come on yours.
I know, seriously. So our girl Kayla Nicole was on Unapologetically Angel. So if you don't know Kayla Nicole, she is an influencer, social media personality, and she also has a high-profile relationship with Travis Kelce.
Yes.
Before he dated Taylor Swift.
Yes.
When he was hot.
He's dating Taylor Smith.
Yes.
You have a lot of thoughts on his fashion choices when he was with a black girl.
I have a lot of thoughts about that in general that I'm not going to share for the internet. I'm going to tell you and Gabe when the cameras cut off.
That's for the Patreon, which launches later on later this year. You stay tuned to sign up for our email that we don't have.
No, right? That'll be a Patreon conversation about how.
And don't screen record it.
I know, about how you could date one tight until, but that ain't for today. So basically, the conversation of exes come up. I will say Kayla talked about the Swifties and how things went down and played out for her and how hard that was, being attacked for just like
existing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not having a relationship work out. So Angel asks her, has there ever been a time that you've like gotten crazy over an ex? Okay. And she's like, actually, yeah. I was dating a guy and she was like, I was moving to his city to live with him. This is an athlete. And, you know, we had this understanding that like we were going to live together and do all these things. And then he publicly gets into this high profile relationship. So she was talking about Iman Shumpert.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought this was
Iman
about Travis
Shumpert
again.
and Teyana Taylor, who are married, have 2 children. No one even know they dated. So she was like, so once their high profile relationship came out, I dressed up as her for Halloween.
I love mess. I love mess.
Baby, the mess. So she never said their names.
Okay.
Of course. But of course, the internet
That is like
is the keeper of all.
that is unequivalent shade, though. I love it.
Oh
I'm gonna
my
dress up as
God.
somebody. I'm not gonna say who it is, but she's not out there in a blonde wig and a sparkle suit.
And she dressed up as Teyana Taylor for Halloween. So Angel was like, what did he say? And he was like, you're crazy. And she was like, yeah. She completely owned it, which I love.
I love it.
Obsessed. So it leads me to ask, there's more follow-up, but I want to ask you, have you ever done anything crazy behind like a man? I ain't gonna ask Gabe.
Yeah.
We all
Gabe's gonna start his own podcast.
We all been there, done that.
Gay with Gabe. No, I don't think so. I think I've like when I've realized it's unrequited, I can get like a little sad and pissy and like all that kind of stuff. But I've never been like showing up at the house and been like, "Tell me who you are" or anything like that. So
okay.
Yeah. Do you have something for me?
No.
Oh, you looked at me like, mm-hmm.
No, I was just wondering.
I'm really not trying to protect. I really don't think well, I've never really been in a true relationship either. So
yeah.
I haven't had my opportunity.
So the crazy's still in
but
there.
whoever's out there.
I know, the crazy's still lurking in there. That's funny. So,
you?
Dang, I knew you.
She's like, you're not supposed to throw it back to me this time. It's supposed to make it about yourself.
It really wasn't like that, though. Dang. I do not want to put all my business out on the internet. I'll say this. One time there was a situation where somebody I was talking to made a plan with me. Well, what was I talking to like that? It was messy. Okay, let's see.
You are telling a story like me right now.
What?
Land the plane!
One time there was a situation where there was a person that I was involved with at different, like...
A lover.
I wouldn't say he was a lover. And we had made a plan to do something. And it ended up getting aired out that, like, he was doing this plan with another person. And, like, our mutual friend told me. And so I got drunk and got my girlfriends. And we, like, showed up at the event.
Oh, you here at the corn maze, too! Look at... It was a corn maze?
No, but it was like that. It was like that, though. It was very much like, oh no, we
gosh.
pulling. Like, I called two of my homegirls and I was like, pull up. Trinity's one of them.
Yes, and we can always count on Trinity.
Don't ever do that to me again. She's so non-confrontational.
Did she not know what was happening?
Oh no, she knew.
Oh, okay.
But she's a ride or die.
Oh yeah, I love that.
It was Trinity and my homegirl Anna.
Anna. Wait, Anna, Book Anna?
No, not Book Anna. The one with the 5 kids.
Yes.
The 2 sets of twins.
Okay.
So yeah, and they pulled up and I got drunk and we went and I showed my tail.
I love that.
I showed my tail.
And that's where, as a producer, I would have been like, camera A, get on his shoulder. We're going to follow Raven in. Camera B, go sit behind the bar.
And like I didn't even like him like that, but it was the principle.
But you said you won't embarrass me.
Yeah, like it was the principle of it. Like, don't play me.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Teyana ended up seeing this little interview.
Okay.
And she had words.
Oh.
Wait, let me find it. Ooh, child. Okay. It's really crazy that everyone is allowed to bother me and be distasteful. Everybody gets to play while I move with grace, always. But now I want to have a little Sagittarius fun too, and it's a problem. F the Iman part. Iman is the man.
Oh.
I'm divorced and happily so. However,
they're divorced now?
They're divorced now. However, her choice of words were very distasteful and uncalled for. She knew exactly what she was doing. That lady, whenever somebody calls somebody that lady, it's funny to me. That is so disrespectful.
It's like if everything you could call her, you're just like, it's
not that lady.
It's not even like that bitch.
It's
like
that lady.
That lady.
That lady said she was famous at the time. Okay. Also said, I don't care who see it. It was very distasteful and uncalled for. Most importantly, she knew people would dig. So automatically my name is attached to this nonsense. At that point, she didn't need to at me. That was clearly a quick search. My name was trending without an app before even saying a word. That's how I saw it. LOL. On top of the fact that the math wasn't mathing and the facts weren't facting. However, the level of cringe factor was LOL. I'm finding out, just like the world, that her intentions were ill and petty. She pulled the black card when it came to Taylor Swift, but in the same circle turned around and tried to bully the black woman that was married for her situationship she claimed dumped her for me. Ooh. Dressing up like me for what? Crazy part about it all is I actually showed love under her pic when she posted it, like I did the other lot of numbers people that dressed up as me for Halloween. Whole time, I didn't even know she was being shady. Now I do. So in that case, petty panties on. I had my little fun, and I said what I said, and now I'm done and headed back to set.
She said, let me get you all the way together, and then I have to go to work.
So the part that's killing to me,
that lady,
was other than that lady, was that she's not mad that she dated a man. She's not mad that she dressed up like her. She's mad that she said that Teyana was famous at the time implying that she's not famous now.
That's what she's upset
That's
about.
why she mad.
You know what it's giving? It's giving Black China's mom. Baby, I have businesses. I don't go to work. I have businesses. And you're like, okay.
And I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
She feel disrespected, which feel how you feel.
Look.
I will say this. I watched the clips. I didn't watch the whole interview, Chad. It didn't come off like that. Mm-hmm. It didn't come off like she was trying to throw the rock at her head. It just came off as like, I'm shady and messy and dressed up like that lady.
I was.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
well.
Teyana, baby, she took it and ran with it.
Well, I will say sometimes, even as my job as a performer, people are like, oh, you do that little thing? And I'm like, baby, I'm an entertainer.
I'm an entertainer.
So maybe I would be like, Teyana, that's not a big deal, but
yeah.
I mean, acting like that. And you.
But baby, that mess had me, I was like, ooh, and then what? And then what?
Well, when it comes to, fighting over jobs or a man, they say love is blind.
And like I said, that was a great segue, Blake.
No,
Good
it wasn't.
job.
Well, he gave me the wrap it up arm.
Okay, Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. Have you been watching? No.
Listen, no.
So-
Wait a minute. I have. It's just hard. It's a lot of episodes.
I will say this. If we're going to do... I either want Netflix to settle down and sack up and do all the episodes at once, and then we can do a reunion special, or we're going to do it one at a time. You releasing 4 episodes, then 3, and then 2, and then we're back to 1, and now there's 4 more episodes. I'm not into it.
But the problem is, too, now the outside drama is more important than the show drama.
And that is what I want to talk to you about today.
They should have just dropped the shit at this point, because it's like, we already know some people broke up or back together.
I will say, though, I think at this point, Love is Blind is not about even like the drama of the show. It's, those people are crazy and something's going to happen outside the show.
Oh, for sure.
Because you remember last year was that guy who like went to that club and the girl found him and then they talked about it on the show.
I feel like they set these up for like big reunion specials.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, I feel like that's like the
Trixie and Katya, they react to him because they have a deal with Netflix, and she said she knows the producers are in there like...
There's so much. Well, today, Nick...
Like, your background check came back clear.
He did it. So Nick Dorka today...
Nick Dorka.
...was in the airport, and TMZ caught up with him. And they were like, why'd you pick Bachelorette over... Or why'd you pick Love is Blind over The Bachelorette? And he was like, maybe you'll see me on that next season. And they're like, wait, aren't you supposed to be married? You idiot.
Stupid.
You idiot.
Or he just really knows how to play with people.
I don't think he's that smart.
You don't think he's that smart? He's a realtor.
Well, because then he tried to backtrack. He tried to reel it in
back,
because he probably gonna owe somebody some money. Because that is a big no-no on these shows.
NDA.
Yeah, so we'll see.
We'll see. Nick Dorka, living up to your name.
Exactly.
Okay, so the last I watched, Ashley A and Tyler got engaged, and that's what I want to talk about. But then my two favorites, G and Taylor, are still my favorite, and I'm really hoping they pull through. We've got a few more episodes. Can I see your phone for a second? I want to look up a viewer left a comment.
That's what I was going to have you do.
Yeah,
cool.
Okay, so we had a viewer. Hello out there. I'm trying to remember your name. Sorry, my phone is not with us at the moment.
You don't have to give these people all that information. Just find a name.
Okay, so I will. JPage813 on YouTube. She ended up sending us something on TikTok as well, but she said, have y'all seen the Tyler drama? We need an emergency episode.
Okay. We're
not at that place yet, but soon.
Girl, we work a full-time job.
Yes, but like I said, we were going to talk about it. And so I said, wait, no, what's the tea? And she said, when he told her the streets might be talking at their pasta dinner, he was not lying. You remember that episode?
I think vaguely.
Okay. No. Okay. He apparently has 3 kids, and he and his mom scrubbed from their socials. Owes the baby mama $30,000 in child support. Allegedly stole $10,000 from another ex, and stole some expensive sunnies from another ex who caught him wearing them on Insta.
Wait, this the baby mama who came out and said something
and
posted the receipt.
So, like an amazing viewer that you are, she sent us a video.
She did. I watched it.
And so I'm just going to see if this will work.
Tyler's baby mom has broken her silence. She posted this on Instagram. Yes, I am the mother of Tyler's 3 children. I'm trying really hard to do this the right way, but I have no understanding why he would characterize his relationship with his children as he has, especially in consideration of how patient and considerate I've been. I guess I have to speak on this despite trying so hard not to. Sperm babies, they are not. Also posted this to her Instagram stories. Sperm babies, Tyler, I guess I have to start dropping my own bombs. And if you watch this week's episodes of Love is Blind, we literally hear Tyler tell Ashley that last year he stayed at home for Christmas and he cooked a big meal by himself.
And from the screen cap, Ashley looks like she is already done with the bullshit.
Wait a minute. Did he call his... Wait, sperm babies? Where'd that come from? Did he say that?
I will be honest,
Or
I
was
don't
she
remember.
just like...
I will say the video we're playing is from Storytime with Ricky. Go look up her video if you want the full tea, because we got a lot to talk about, like I said.
And thank you, what's the baby name?
Janelle Page.
And Janelle. You are kind of girl, because you came in with that tea, baby.
She did, and she said, here's what the streets are saying. Here's the video. Yes, we love mess, but we love back up mess.
Janelle said this was the streets were saying, and hit approve.
Use that mic and say, thank you, Gabe.
Thank you, Janelle.
Okay, so that's what's going down right now. And like I said, I'm more into what's happening off the set.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm interested to see where it goes. Like I said, because of the way they release them, I haven't seen the most recent episode, but I'm interested.
I'm about to skip all the crap I'm in
and
get to the Mexico whatever.
Oh yeah, where they go out.
Yeah, because I'm still in the pies, baby.
So this is the thing too. If I were to ever go on Love Is Blind, I was really talking about this with a friend the other day. I just can't in 10 days even for a camera say, I love you so much. You're
Blake,
my son. You're my heir.
You are this is why we're sisters. Because I literally was going to say this on the camera today. I'm not going to shade them people.
No.
I lack the vulnerability required to get on Beyonce internet and God's television and tell somebody, stanky son, I love you so much. I can't imagine my life without the internal. I'm like, maybe I should talk about this with my therapist. The cringe that I feel on their behalf.
Because it's never like, I can see myself having a life with you. I can see myself loving you. It's like, I want to wake up and I want to get coffee with you. I want to hold you when you have bad news. And I'm like, and I know we are a vain society and things like that. And even that aside, I'm like, you don't know this person, even after 10 days.
Also, at one point, the guy told the girl, one of the girls, I can't remember which guy it was, he was like, I'm holding this pillow right now, imagining it's you.
The way, this would have been me on the show. If this is my pod. I'm like, no. But now that I think they just do it to go to Mexico.
I think so too.
We should go on Love Is Blind. I'd be like, Raven, I just know I could love you forever. And you'd be like, will you marry me? And then we'll be like, yeah. We'll be like, wait, where are we going? We're going to the countryside of France. I will marry you, Blake.
Literally, but I was
that
like.
That curtain opens, Raven goes.
Oh, I don't want to marry you no more. This is stupid.
Have they ever had that on Love Is Blind where it opens and she's like, never mind?
I know they've had it on like other countries' versions.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it where they're like,
yeah,
could never be me.
Well, that's what happens when you get men involved. So
I guess so.
I will. This is the last thing I'll say about Love Is Blind. Because, you know, they did, do you remember that show we all watched together, The Ultimatum?
Yes, on Netflix? I forgot about that show.
They did a queer version with women, and it was lit. And people were like, we need to do this with gay men. And I feel like a Love Is Blind gay would either go this way horribly in a bad direction, or it would give men the chance, because, you know, gay men, they're very like, how do you look? What's like, how do you add value?
I love that.
I wonder if it would be like the curtains raising and they're like, never mind. Or if they would truly connect.
And be like, oh, this is my person.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good point. All right, Netflix, you heard it here first. Let's do a Love Is Blind with
Gabe
gay
is
men.
nodding his head like
you don't want that.
Gay men are gutted. They just go up and be like, next.
I love that.
That's funny.
Well, like I said, that's why we got to stick to ladies. Speaking of ladies, Agatha All Along.
Y'all, look at Gabe fist pumping over there.
Yes. Let's just let him talk about it.
I love this show.
Okay.
Like, I went into it kind of like, whatever, like, I'll do do it for the pod and for my friend
who loves Marvel.
not
DC.
not DC. Oh my gosh. I was like, first of all, I have to watch it in the daytime because it is kind of a little bit scary to me. I'd be very much scared.
Sometimes I'm nervous to watch it at my house. It's the dark side.
It's like a little dark, but first of all, let's go with the big spoiler alert. Woo. Billy, is that the baby name? Child.
Well, you got a teen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they called him teen because he'd be like,
I forgot about that. Okay, Blake, you better come in with the facts.
Fact check. From what I've seen so far.
It's revealed that it's Wanda's son.
I almost corrected you and I said, no, I'm not joking. I went, no, it's Wakanda. That is a different Marvel. No, it's Wakanda.
Y'all, first of all, let's backtrack. With Lisa, that baby's name Lisa. First of all, baby boy who plays that character, Billy's character, what's his name?
Joe Locke.
He acted his ass off. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so deep. This is so like, that is like the acting, because the show can like lean kind of silly. I was
that's like a Marvel thing.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, we acting open here. Also, not to get too deep about it, I had a quick conversation with Gabe over the phone and our other friend who is a Marvel person. And I was like, there is some TNA to catch you up on, but that's not the point.
Okay.
But I was like, Agatha, first of all, I love characters that are full dimensional, that aren't all good and all evil. And I think going into this, we looked at Agatha like low-key, like evil, but she has so many redeeming qualities. And also like, my belief is that she can't help it that she steals people's powers all the time. I'm with.
Oh, okay.
Because like when she accidentally killed Alice, she really looked defeated and like,
dang, I didn't mean to kill you.
I didn't know what happened. I don't know what happened, and it was really sad.
Well, even when in the episode before that, when Teen got stabbed and she was like visibly upset,
Yeah.
I was like, that's the Agatha we know and love.
That is the Agatha we know and love. But also, and like for the longest time, we didn't know if it was Agatha's son or Wanda's son or if it was anybody's son. I feel like because we're in episode 4, right?
5.
I feel like that's a good time. Like it was the perfect time in the series for a big reveal like that. It is such a good show.
So, okay, a question for you, because you're not a Marvel person. Where do you think the show is going from here?
Girl, no idea. I really can't predict.
Gabe, as a Marvel stan, where do you think it's going to happen?
Oh, don't get me started. It's going to be great, though. There's going to be a lot of...
We got you a whole mic and a light, and you said you don't want to get started.
Well, because it's... Do you want me to give my 45-minute presentation?
Yeah, y'all. No, we don't got that kind of time.
We sat down to watch Agatha All Along with Gabe, and
Let me say this. This is what I'm excited for. I'm excited to see Billy become, in the comic books, he becomes Wiccan, who is like he's the first LGBT Marvel superhero who ends up getting married in the comic books, like one of the first gay marriages. Love him. So I'm excited to see him like blossom into his stuff.
To see him bloom, as Troye Sivan would say.
And then I also really want to see Rio and Agatha, and they're like
they're
lesbians.
Their sexual chemistry is palpable.
I love it.
Also, titties. When they were in the 70s, was it the 70s when everybody had
to dress like you have on right now? Yes.
I was like, ooh, boobies.
Also, to the person who commented on her titties, don't ever do that again.
You can
It wasn't nice.
I don't care. Thank you for the engagement. Ain't nothing changing. I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Gabe.
Moving on along. What's next?
Okay, so I want to talk to you about another show we saw. So we did see this together.
This is not a show.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
You know, like old people. We went to the show.
Yeah.
And they went to like Titanic. We saw The Apprentice, which is based on Donald Trump's essentially like coming of age, how he became Donald Trump, starring Sebastian Stan. But to tell the people.
We went into this blind.
We did.
The three of us like sat down, looked around, and we were like, is this a MAGA movie?
Yeah, because we have, there's a lot of like especially what do they call Fathom events, and they do those like faith-based movies, which there's nothing wrong with that, but some of them are wild. Like they had like I think a premiere for the Matt Walsh movie, Am I Racist, at these theaters because Nashville is a hot spot for that, which is weird.
Yeah.
But we looked around and we were like, so where was everybody on January the 6th? Like,
I don't think we thought it was like a joke, like a black girl and 2 gay guys walk into a movie.
Yes, like we were like, wait a
Raven was
minute.
in snap formation, and me and Gabe were just walking.
And I'm sure the other people were like,
what? And like we were behind somebody, I think, in like a camo jacket, and we were just like,
we might have made a wrong turn. So we already had like an exit strategy in case things got January 6th in there.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
I know, I enjoyed the movie. I kind of relaxed more into it when I realized it was Sebastian Stan.
And it wasn't a love letter to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like they tackled the hard issues because the things that, like, I went into the movie knowing about when it came to building Trump Tower were, like, the discrimination lawsuits and all of that stuff. So it was cool to see that played out on film.
Yeah.
And to kind of see from these people's rendition or whoever, I don't even know who made this child.
There was, you know how like at the beginning it's like Jerry Bruckheimer Films, Warner, there was like 12 of them.
So I don't know who's responsible
so I guess
for
they
this.
had to really find the funding.
Yeah, but to see that played out on camera, I thought was cool, and to see how we got to the Donald Trump that we have today was very interesting. I was not aware of a lot of things that was in that movie. I will say, trigger warning. There is a graphic rape scene involving Donald Trump and his former wife, Ivana, that honestly I felt was a misstep by the people who put this movie on to not start the film with a trigger warning that there is a graphic rape scene. Yeah. I low-key was like a little affected by that. Yeah. And I'm not, I've never experienced that, but something about that really got to me, and I really would have liked to have had a warning.
Like kind of taking a page from It Ends With Us.
Yes. And even in Blink Twice, like,
girl,
they gave us, like, you go into it knowing it's going to be disturbing. You go into it knowing that there's going to be sexual violence so that you're not just smacked over the face with something like that, just willy-nilly eat nachos.
Yeah. Eat nachos.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
But overall, I was impressed. I thought the acting was great. I thought the writing was great. It was filmed beautifully. It was really good.
See, the parts that really stuck with me were Roy Cohn.
Yeah.
So so the whole movie essentially is about how he got to the art of the deal. And it's essentially going back and showing Donald Trump's first mentor, Roy Cohn. And he was this man who I guess at the time was a very successful lawyer in New York and like kind of got what he wanted through being shady as well. And Donald learned those things and then kind of usually sometimes like offspring grew more powerful or did it and got worse. And I thought the way they told the story was really good because he was like a gay man and he was never out. He ended up dying of HIV/AIDS. And but he like essentially teaches Donald everything he knows. And then he becomes worse. And when you watch this movie, first of all, the first 30 minutes, me, Gabe, and Raven kept going like this because we were like, are these two going to have sex?
Yeah, it was very homoerotic.
Like, was it going to be Trump Back Mountain? Like, I had no idea.
I was very confused.
I was so nervous. But then, and this guy, he's like very like, I say what I want, is very rude, very like ball busty. And you're like, okay, screw this guy. We see where he gets it from. And they do a great job of storytelling by that. At the end, you're like, I actually feel sorry for this hoe.
Honestly, and I can't believe I'm about to say this with lights flickering. I'm going to say this and I don't mean it how it's going to say it. I just don't have the words to articulate it. Yeah. It made me feel bad for Donald in a way. It's that thing of like everyone starts out good and like with him being so timid and easily influenced and beat down by his father and, having that wanting okay, this is what I'll say. I knew this intellectually, but I did it know it here that like who he is all based out of insecurity.
Okay.
It is just masking over masking over masking of seeing him actually personified as the person who's kind of awkward and kind of quiet and not really sure of himself and kind of timid and embarrassed around his family and wanting to keep the peace and wanting to for everybody. Like I've never seen him portrayed in that light.
Yeah.
And it's like now it makes sense.
Yeah.
That once he got to a place where he was the big dog, why he would act the way he acts. So it's not an excuse.
No.
But it's just
You're like, oh.
Clarifying.
Yeah. It was just like to watch that flip so slowly.
Yeah.
Where Roy essentially looks like the nerdy kid
exactly.
at the end, and it's just like, wow. And it also makes me wonder if Roy, I'm not going to sympathize with him either, because he was very secret dealy, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, did he become that way because he was gay? And so he was like, it's just like, well, if you're an insecure person and then you spill that cup over, you know, so. I mean, I get it because I'm very hot and I spilled that over.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, it was good. I'd say go see it.
Yeah, go see it. Well, unless you're Donald Trump. He said, don't you go see that.
I know, yeah.
And Gabe has a word.
Yes. So Trump's
Trump
campaign spokesman, Stephen Chung, said The Apprentice is pure fiction and election interference by Hollywood elites right before November. The film is pure malicious defamation, should never see the light of day, and doesn't even deserve a place in the straight-to-DVD section of a bargain bin at a soon-to-be-closed discount movie store. It belongs in a dumpster fire.
Okay, you know Chung is probably a queen because he said, I'm going to get the girls together. Yeah.
He did get the girls together. But also, I will say, like, it didn't feel like it was really promoted. I didn't even hear about it until you told me about it.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until I saw it on the Regal app.
So it was originally, it went to Cannes Film Festival, but when they were filming it, it got, like, defunded, like, 3 or 4 times.
So that's why there's 18 production things at the beginning. Yeah. Oh, this is what I think is funny about that quote is in the movie, Roy talks about how you never accept defeat.
No.
It's always victory, which, again, different podcast. You know how, like, in the Bible it says, we have victory in Jesus? And I think Christian nationalism has taken it to, like, we have the victory because we're American patriots.
Blake, you be having some deep moments on this podcast.
It's all this time I've spent alone.
Deep moment.
Should I equalize it? American Idol.
That's good, Blake.
Yeah, I was just like,
that's good talking you're doing.
So I was like, oh, that's so interesting that Roy in the movie, he was like, you never accept defeat. It's never blah, blah, blah. It's never this and that. It's like, it's stupid. It's bad. Don't go see it. Bargain bin, all that kind of stuff.
That's crazy,
So
bro.
it's wild. But yeah, go see the movie. It was really cool. But, you know, speaking of Hollywood elites, Beyonce. Beyonce Knowles.
Beyonce.
She sent the good old cease and desist to Piers Morgan.
Actually did not send a cease and desist.
What'd she send?
It was a warning.
She sent a, this is for Rachel, you big fat nasty. She dipped into her obsessed character.
That is hilarious.
Oh my God.
So the attorney for Beyonce and Jay-Z, let's start from the beginning.
Okay, let's go back.
Piers Morgan now has a YouTube show.
Stop giving men microphones.
Where he invited a woman named Jaguar Wright to talk about the Diddy, I'm guessing the Diddy allegations. Jaguar Wright is interesting.
Can I say it my way?
Sure.
A broken clock can be right twice a day.
That's what it is.
I was on board until she said she was supposed to be the next Jennifer Hudson.
So from what I've heard, it has been proven that she has been clinically diagnosed with a mental illness.
Okay.
There was a situation where she took her child's ashes and threw them on somebody. This woman is not well. Piers took it upon himself to give her a platform to talk about the Diddy because she, in her own right, was a singer, was in this circle, was in this camp with the people. She is aware, she does know these people better than you and I.
Yeah.
So, in that way, yes, she whatever. Well, she took this opportunity to talk about Beyonce and Jay-Z. And Piers on the show was like, they're not here to defend themselves. They're not here to defend themselves. But you've already given this lady a platform. Now, when she was on these broke down, no shade, little random channels, there really is no harm.
Yeah.
But when you put her on a platform like that Piers Morgan has, that's when the letters start coming.
Yeah, isn't he like the English like Tucker Carlson?
Yes.
Yeah.
So their attorney reached out to Piers' show and was like, take it down and apologize or we coming for you, basically. Because like the attorney was like, it's baseless, it's fiction, it's inappropriate. They weren't there to defend themselves. And for so long, the streets been saying like, oh, she must be telling the truth because don't nobody sue her.
And Beyonce said, okay, bet.
Exactly. Also, what pisses me off about this whole thing, and I'm gonna be on hit my box. I'm on it. People act like Beyonce is not the most influential, talented performer of our generation.
Yeah.
Of course, people gonna get up there and thank her. Who else you gonna thank?
But they also did this with Madonna.
They did this with Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Like, when people are that influential, that iconic, that radiant, it inspires other artists. That's what art does. So to act like it's crazy for people to want to get up and thank the person who inspired them, y'all go touch grass.
Also, artists are tuned in creatively, and they also know, like, when people thank her at the Grammys and say, like, this should be your award, it's because they're also a creative. And they know, like, yeah, this was great, but, like...
But why can't... Okay, but my thing is, too, no shade. Taylor Swift done won award after award after award after award. How come she don't ever get put in it? In this like army of killers and demons.
No. So I'll start saying this right now. It's starting with her because on the Eras tour, she has like the part where she does Evermore or whatever. She's starting to get she's a huge artist. There's no reason she could have this many sold out shows. She must be a witch doing rituals. And then now there's a conspiracy that she's the reincarnate daughter of the man who started Satanism.
Honestly, she does look like her.
Okay, now I'm not saying that lady. I'm not saying she that lady. Or reincarnated or whatever. What I'm gonna say is,
but they both have a fierce eye.
What I'm gonna say is, if all three of us was in the room, I wouldn't know which one was Taylor and which one wasn't. I'm gonna say that.
But all of that to just say, like,
but
when
people
you're
be
that
looking
famous,
alike.
But like I saw an old video today, someone was like, maybe Adele always thanks Beyonce because she loved, and it was Adele as like a teenager, and she was singing a song.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe you're just a fan. That's again, and I don't even want to put this on like the evangelical community or like anything. Like, I just think as a whole, we need to be better at critically thinking about things.
Ooh, child, that critical thinking ain't be critical.
Like, sometimes you can be too self-aware, and I will say that. But also, like, somebody said the way younger people believe stuff on TikTok is the way older people believe stuff on Facebook now. And it's like, well, I saw it on TikTok. It must be true. No, it's not. Somebody sent me something the other day, said Elon Musk bought Apple. And I was like, a quick Google search will show you that is not true.
But the problem is, though, is people don't know what research is. When people say, like, I did my research.
I listened to Rewind the podcast.
Exactly. We is not research. We random people.
Yes.
Who just like to talk about people.
We are in my old bedroom, and our eyes are burning because I'm cooking an onion soup.
Quite literally.
That's why we all look stoned.
I'm having a really hard time keeping my eyes open because he hungry. So, like, we are not... Don't quote us, woo, because we just be here talking shit. But yes, I hate this. I hate that everyone's involved. I hate it for the people who were victimized. It is.
We don't need secret conspiracies and Jaguar Wright. It always comes out.
The United States government gonna tell us, the Justice Department. They trust me. Literally. They're gonna let us know.
Yeah. So let's move on along.
Moving on along. Okay, and just real quick, the breakup. I feel like we're always talking about breakups on this podcast.
I know. We're in that time. J-Lo and Ben.
Yeah, and then Kristen and Mark. And now Halle and DDG have called it quits. Okay.
Double Dollar General.
So, you know, they recently had that baby.
They did.
Who's so precious. Halo, I think is his name.
Inspired that song Angel.
And no one has ever been, like, the internet has never been happy with them being together.
Weren't they kind of like, girl, you're at the cusp of your fame. Let that man go.
Because he's like, he's a rapper. He's like an internet personality. He seems honestly to me like a nice kid. I don't know the ins and outs of their whole entire relationship and their whole dynamic. But it seemed like they were in love and like happy and they had this baby. And you hate to see a little family fall apart like that. But people are saying that it's like a social media, like because he does like a lot of like pranks. That's not funny.
It's like those TikTok people who do all these like stupid pranks, like the families, and I'm like, no, like don't bring your marriage into it. That's weird.
That's weird.
That's weird.
But I do feel bad for them. I hate to see love fall apart like that. But it seems like they're gonna co-parent. And I'm happy for them.
What else can they do?
That's true. Because
Drop
Halo
the
here,
baby off at the
child.
fire department.
And he seems like a good dad.
Yeah. She should've
Wishing
just done
them
Little
luck.
Mermaid 2 and kept it pushing. So, you know there was supposed to be a Little Mermaid 2. Yes. She got that angelic voice. Speaking of angelic voices.
Oh my gosh, I already know what you're
We got
to
to talk about your old colleague, Terrell Owens.
Who is Terrell Owens? He's a football player.
He was the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, you talking about Terrell Grace.
Terrell Grace.
Terrell Grace. As we all know, I love me some Terrell Grace.
Love some Terrell Grace.
Yes. So he had the one and only
Tori Kelly.
David Archuleta.
Archuleta.
Brought him to the blue wall. Y'all.
That teeny tiny in those little muscle shirt.
Y'all. Okay. This has been a great season.
Oh, yeah.
And he's had some great people. For me, this one was the one.
Yeah. And it was funny because I did not expect it to be.
Me either, Blake. He is the sweetest.
Yes.
Most gentle boy, man. I don't even know how old David Archuleta is. But he seems like a little sweet angel baby love. He's so gentle and soft-spoken and cute. And then that voice. The way he had me in my bedroom crying actual tears. Singing them gospel songs.
Can you imagine? I'm going to bring it back to American Idol real quick.
Okay.
Can you imagine being the producer who's sitting in an arena at a table and this little kid walks up after everybody's like, ah, and he's just like, oh, and you're just like, this is why I have this job.
He is
to be the first person to hear that.
Special.
Yes. It was like, Terrell said this, it was like
Butter. But it's
room temperature butter.
So, child. And then
Things
I
are gonna get
could have
easy.
gone and spoken in tongues and did a full-on shout when that baby said his cord is paralyzed.
Yes. He said, and look at God anyway.
Child, I said,
There is power.
Okay, calm down.
I'm sorry.
I said, not the anointing overtaking that paralyzed cord. Baby, David.
Proof that if it is meant for you, you will
is-
find it.
Y'all have to literally stop
Yes.
what you're doing. Go.
No. After this podcast is over.
Sorry. When you log off of here with us, go over to Terrell Grace on the YouTubes and search for David Archuleta. You will not be disappointed. There is a few, of course, like I said, I'm a huge fan of Terrell. I've watched everybody on the wall, chat. There are a few that just literally touch something in your being.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, oh, this is magic.
One for you was Kelly Rowland, right?
Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia, oh, yeah. He made Terrell cry, just sitting there, just watching the tears roll down his face.
And this is why I love Terrell so much, because like just having the space for people to come and share their gift in that way is just priceless.
And he lets them.
It's so easy. And this is, we've talked about this on the pod about having guests.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I feel like that is where the art comes in.
You're reading my mind.
To where it's like giving people the space. I've seen interviews and stuff where people, it's like a battle for, the words or
Yeah.
the whatever. And it just, I don't know if it's the editing. I don't know what it's like in the room with Terrell. I've had the privilege of working with Terrell. I would give actual real dollars and cents to sit in that room.
Yeah. Terrell. You can have us both. We know a lot of songs in between each other.
Seriously. But it just seems so magical and so special. And a talent like David Archuleta, I'm ready for an album or something. You can't just give me that and walk off.
I'm glad that he's having his moment again.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at that time he was being a version of himself or who people wanted him to be. And just watching him be his own person now. He was saying he loves EDM festivals.
Yeah.
Like his singing is beautiful. Anytime he was just, I was like editing or whatever, I would stop and then just like listen. But I also loved the story of, he's like, I'm literally probably almost 30. And he's like, I'm finding myself for the first time.
Hearing somebody sing Change Me with his experience, his life experience, and he like is so eloquent with talking about how he would sing that and want God to change him to be whatever version of himself that other people find acceptable. I could weep now.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
Let me pull you out of it because you said you don't like to cry on camera.
I don't.
So,
I'm not about to
can I
cry.
tell you one time I saw him on Tinder?
Why you do this?
I swiped right.
Why did you do that?
We were not a match.
Where does he live?
He bounces around, I think.
Has he ever lived here? Is that when you saw him?
I think he was here for a while. Because that was like the gay thing in Nashville. Oh my gosh, I matched with David Archuleta. And then he wasn't talking to any of these people. Because he knew that gays in Nashville are crazy.
Yeah, and if there was even really David Archuleta,
T.
anybody can make a profile.
T.
I feel like David Archuleta.
He's up there. He should be on Raya.
He should be on Raya.
He should be on Raya.
He is so cute.
He is.
He kind of makes me really want to be homophobic towards him. I don't know why.
We're taking Gabe's mic away. So we've talked about guests before. When people come on the show, it is our goal that they would truly enjoy themselves. And some of y'all have asked about this too. We don't want to just be like, guest.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing here. But we have always said, if David Archuleta came on this podcast,
so funny.
Gabe, get out of the way. I would get out of the way.
I can second that because when I saw that he was, because you know how I say we're always right kind of where we need to be.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that David was going to be on the Blue Wall with Terrell, I was like, how the hell did that happen?
He's taking interviews.
So random.
Yes.
Because for real, before we even started and we were talking about guests, he was a name that would always come up.
Well, you've also said he could be in our friend group.
Yes, there is something about him where I feel like
Maybe not with Gabe.
I know, like where I feel like we could like be friends with. There is just something about him that is so relatable, and you just feel like, I want to be in his aura, and in his presence. So. David, we love you.
Yeah, you heard it yourself. Go ahead and swipe right on me if you see me on Twitter.
And if you know David Archuleta, send him our clip.
Yeah, for real.
David, even if you just want to kick it, you don't have to come on the show. We'll just drink wine. I'll make you a hot toddy. Mm-hmm. It may not be as good as Terrell's because he got money over there, but we just want to kick it.
That's the tea. I think we've said anything that's under the sun
baby,
today.
this is going to be a 15-hour podcast.
Literally. Okay, so anything fun going on the rest of the week? Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, yeah.
She's coming to town. Are you going to get a ticket?
Do you have a ticket?
I will tell you next week.
Okay, great.
You'll see. Next week, I'll be like, woo, I was at Sabrina Carpenter. It was lit. We'll see.
But just know that if you got a ticket and I did not get a ticket, y'all really going to get a show next week.
That's going to be fun. So tune in. Actually, for real, next week, we're all going to be out of town.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so next week, we're going to have a fun little something that one of you has requested.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that.
Keep an eye out. Let's just say there's a little music and a little arguing because I edited the episode today. It was filmed a while ago, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
so,
I'm excited.
Yeah. So, the only reason I said is we refer to Angelo. So Gabe did not get fired. Well, after that David Archuleta comment, I don't know. But enjoy next week. But for all that being said, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Rewind the Podcast. If you want to listen to other episodes of Rewind the Podcast, you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you like podcasts. I'm not here to tell you what you like because you know what? You're a grown adult and you know what you like. But if you want to watch our beautiful faces, I was so enraptured by this beautiful face. You can watch us on the YouTubes, and now you can watch Gabe's face. Oh my gosh. And you can watch us. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and sign up for alerts because we are cranking out new content like like we do. Raven?
Thank you so much for watching. If you are listening to us on like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever, make sure to leave a review.
That is the tea, if it's good.
Because if you got some ugly, say keep it, take it to
God.
God. But leave a review. But you can find me on all social media platforms at I am Raven Dawson.
I'm Blake Rackley. You can find me at anywhere there's a social media site at Blake Rackley. And with that being said, we'll all see you
Next week.
next week. Bye.
Bye. Love you.